Good Saturday, everyone. I'm meteorologist Mark Collins with your 2 o'clock update with Dorian. Still looking at some pretty impressive strength at 150 mile per hour winds. Hasn't backed off on that, so it's still a Category 4 hurricane. Once it gets up to 156, you'll get that Cat 5 title. But the winds are gusting to Category 5 strength, and it's moving slowly off to the west at 8 miles per hour. It is expected to slow down over the Bahamas, and this could be just catastrophic for the islands. For us, we're going to talk about our own impacts, but look at this eye staring back at us. So it is a very mature, well-organized hurricane, and we're not seeing much to really weaken it as it approaches the northern Bahamas. So it looks like the crossfire of this path will be right there over Abaco and even possibly Grand Bahama Island as we head into a Monday. So tomorrow it's going to continue towards the northern Bahamas, and they are bracing for it. So we are watching for the turn on that could really change how the storm impacts us here in Northeast Florida. Obviously, we're going to get the high swells. You'll start to see some of those waves showing up from Dorian on Sunday. Today, it's just choppy northeast winds, but Sunday and then peaking into Wednesday when the storm will be off our coastline. So you see the red line. So the good news is that a lot of the models are even further to the east of the official red line, which is by the Hurricane Center. Now we're still under the cone, so there's a large spread, but the uncertainty has shrunk. It's not as uncertain as to where the storm would go. It's most likely at this point off of Jacksonville's coastline here as we head into late Tuesday night and into Wednesday. Still, with this track, we'll see tropical storm force winds along our coastal areas, and especially in our southern zones like southern St. Johns and Flagler County. They could experience some very significant tropical storm force winds based on this current track. So these are the forecast models, very tightly clustered here through Sunday and even into Monday. So by Sunday, the storm will be barreling down on Abaco. And then as we head into Monday, the storm will be over the northern Bahama Island chains, moving through the northwestern Bahamas. And then on Tuesday, where does it make that turn? Is it still going to be a little delayed? It all depends on the trough in the upper levels of the atmosphere moving through the Midwest. How that will actually influence the turn of this storm, hopefully sooner than later, because if the turn is a little later, that will put higher winds closer to our coastline here in Northeast Florida. So as you can see from the red line here, that's the official hurricane track. Many of the models are to the right of that. So the Hurricane Center is still playing it conservative with this track that's closer to our coast, and rightfully so, because they want to see a few more model runs that keep that shift away from our coastline. So we started to see that shift away from our coastline last night. We got another confirmation today. The afternoon models are coming out here over the next couple of hours, so that by the next update, track update at 5 o'clock, hopefully we see that red line from the Hurricane Center shift further off our coastline. So on Tuesday, that's what we're looking for, that shift. So right now it looks like impacts. Here you can see the rain. I've put the rain on there in green. Some heavy rains along our coastal areas, much less rain the further west you go. Right now, still the potential for maybe even up to 5 inches of rain there on our coastal areas. Strong northeast winds, and then late in the day on Wednesday, if this track maintains the speed to the north, we'll start to see the surge diminish. Now, how much storm surge could we get? Well, it looks like up towards Tybee Island, Savannah, they could get 9 feet of above normal water levels. Right here around the Jacksonville area, the highest storm surge that I'm beginning to see showing up on some of the models is about 6 feet, and that would be down towards Flagler County. So I think right along Jack's Beach, the water levels will be about 3 feet above the average. So we'll have to see if there's any flood concerns with this. Now, when we look at the potential for tropical storm force winds, here you can see Flagler Beach is 65%. So they will get the highest likelihood of seeing storm force winds in our area. Jack's Beach will probably see some gust to tropical storm force beginning Tuesday evening, but certainly more likely on Wednesday, especially Wednesday morning here, and then as the storm brushes the coast and moves on by. And so when we look at how much rain here, here's some early models really backing off on the excessive rainfall. Earlier when it was going right up like an Irma-like situation, models were showing a foot of rain. Here we're seeing 54 mile per hour winds around Jacksonville Beach on Wednesday, and possibly up to 5 inches of rain. This model is even going up to 7 inches of rain. So right now that 5 to 7 inch rain is possible, but still the track is somewhat uncertain. We're going to see more confidence here as we head through the next couple of days, and Tuesday we'll see where that turn takes place. When the storms slow down like it's expected to do, with a full day just kind of crawling over the Bahamas, where it starts to accelerate, the angle of approach can change. So that's where the uncertainty lies. So Jacksonville Mayor Lenny Curry is going to have an update at 5 o'clock. I will be back live on Channel 4 with the updated track. And of course, we're going to be looking for that shift and keeping our fingers crossed off towards the east. So enjoy the weekend. Tomorrow we'll actually have some slightly drier air move in preceding the hurricane. And then as we head into Labor Day, breezier conditions. And we're going to talk more about the local weather when I see you tonight, starting at 5 on Channel 4.